got Nicolette, we got Bruce from Joburg, Barry Mulman, we've got Ravimbo from Johannesburg as well. So a lot of South Africans on the call, which is fantastic to see. Celia from Hermanus, Banner from Port Elizabeth, Barry from Cape Town, Yolandi from Centurion, Janine from Umhlanga. I'm missing some of you guys. Some of you are typing so quickly that I'm not even getting a chance to see it. Nikki from Joburg as well. So we're seeing a lot of the Joburg guys online. We're seeing a lot of the Cape Tonians, the Eastern Cape and Western Cape online as well. Great to see you guys. Dichatso from Joburg as well. Great to have you on the call. So it looks like we're just about ready to get going. I can see Anna from Belito. That's a local. Hello, Anna. Just around the corner from us. Felicity from Johannesburg. We're about 1 minute to go. Can I maybe encourage you, if you've invited some guests on, just to message them, let them know that we're going to get started. Bernard from Joburg on the line as well. Julian Tucker, great to see you. Guys, we are going to be starting shortly, simply because there's this incredible webinar being hosted at 8:15 p.m. tonight. It's being hosted by Robert Kiyosaki. It's a free webinar. He's going to be speaking into financial strategies that make the most sense right now in this economy. So we want to make sure that we take the next 14 minutes to give you as much value as possible, so then we can get the rest of our teams, the rest of our community onto that webinar. We think it's going to be a brilliant, brilliant webinar. So having said that, I'm going to be introducing you to a gentleman in just a moment. His name is Sean Mask. He's based up in Johannesburg, and he's a friend of mine. We've been in business now for a while. Sean comes out of the traditional business space. He's an excellent communicator, a man that I really trust. And our job tonight, really, Sean and my job tonight, is to share a company with you. It's to share a concept with you that hopefully prepares you for three things. You know, if you're 50 and above, then you've probably noticed that your RA, your pension funds, your retirement isn't looking as rosy as your financial advisor had told you it would look. Okay, you've probably picked up on that. I know, because I'm having conversations with my parents and my parent-in-laws, and it's a very real challenge for them right now. Secondly, if you're younger than 50, if you're my age and you've got a young family coming through, and you've had a job, you probably noticed that jobs are becoming a bit of a rarity. We've just gone through mass firings. We've seen across a lot of our friends having mass firings happening within their industries, within their company. The stats are about 1 in 2 people's jobs are being reassessed at the moment. So if you're younger than me, then potentially what we've got is a solution. If you're my age, sorry, or thereabouts, we've got a cash flow solution for you. So if you're over 50, we've probably got a retirement solution. If you're my age-ish, we've got a cash flow solution. And if you're someone who's just looking for more time, maybe your job's secure, but you're sick of ticking the box. Maybe your job's secure, but you're looking for a second income, or you're looking for a place to park your wealth, then we're really hoping that off the back of tonight's call, we tick that box for you as well. So I'm going to be handing over to my colleague and friend now, Sean Mask. Sean, I'm going to make you host. As I said, Sean comes out of the traditional business realm. He's a father as well. He's a man I trust. He's a fantastic communicator. And he's going to introduce a company and a product to you that we think makes a lot of sense at this specific time in history. So Sean, thank you so much for your time tonight. Over to you.
Awesome, Bruce. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And thanks, guys. As Bruce says, you know, we're going to have to make this very, very speedy. So I hope you can, I'm going to talk fast. I hope you can listen fast. But as Bruce said, you know, we want to share some ideas with you. We want to share some things that we've been doing. I've been doing what I'm going to talk to you about now for the last 4 years. So I'm not new to this. As Bruce says, I do come out of the conventional business environment. And I'm an engineer by studies. I studied engineering. I did what my mom told me to do, and that is go to school, get a good education, and find a good job, which I did. And that actually led me to the UK and to climb the corporate ladder. And I spent 13 years in London climbing the corporate ladder. And I got to the age of about 31, 32 years old, and I just looked around and thought, this is not where I want to be. And so what happened after that is I made a decision to do something different. So myself and my family, we picked up the kids and we moved back to South Africa, and we started conventional business. Now, unfortunately, we found We started building homes, started building upmarket residential houses, got into the construction industry, and it was great. It was a good business. But what we found is that over time, we had to do more work just to achieve the same results. And it got very tiring. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you found that, you're having to work harder and harder. And it's weird, actually, because I'm getting a lot of talk from people during this lockdown that they're working from home and they're actually working harder now than they were working before the lockdown. I mean, it's ludicrous. People getting phoned at all hours of the night because now they're at home. Then, you know, the work day is now 24 hours. It's not just from 9 to 5. And so we just decided we got to do something different. At the same time, I watched my dad, who was also an engineer, had his own business, pretty much work himself to death and leave no legacy for the family. And I watched my mom, who had invested in these financial products for 35 odd years, stress every day because she had no idea how she was going to retire. And we just decided we got to do something different. So about 4.5 years ago, we started looking at other industries and other things to do. Got involved in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin mining and things. But what we decided was we were going to take money and put it into gold. And the reason we put it into gold is we decided that it was a safe haven. It was somewhere where we could, it was low risk. So if we were making money high risk, we put it into low risk. And that's what we've been doing now for the last 4 years. So I want to run through a quick presentation just to explain a company that I've been part of for the last 4 years that has helped me to change. I'll be honest with you guys, it's totally changed me and my family's financial future. Totally. Now, I'm saying that it's because of the work and the effort that we've put into it. But it's a company that's been around that has allowed us to partner with them and to be able to change our lives. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I think when I see what's going on out there in the world, and I see how much uncertainty there is, and I see how much fear there is, I look at it that it's a job, it's my goal to go and tell people that there are alternatives. There are other ways. There are things you can do that, yes, it's not going to fix your problems now, but as I've learned, dig the well before you need the water. These things that have happened now could happen more frequently in the future. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen with you. If you guys can just let me know. And what I'd really like you to do, I'm just going to run through a couple of concepts, talk about a company, then I'm going to hand back to Bruce, and Bruce is going to run through some numbers with you and talk a little bit more about the business opportunity. But I want you guys to think while I'm talking here and while Bruce is talking, just to think about what is possible and what could you do, and think about your life right now and where you are, and if you are happy where you are. And if not, then maybe you should just look at making a few changes. We're not talking about changing your whole life straight away. It's one small step at a time. And if nothing else tonight, get in touch with the person who brought you along. What we're going to be doing is an overview, get in touch with the person that brought you along and find out how they can help you to take some more steps to really do some in-depth due diligence with the company I'm going to talk to you about. So this company is called KaratBars. It's a German registered company. It's a GmbH, which means it's a registered company. It was founded in 2011. So it's been around for a while. And that was important when we started looking, because we didn't want a startup. I don't know whether you guys have noticed, there are lots of things out there at the moment. There are all sorts of things that people have come up with. But what you'll find, unfortunately, is a lot of these things have not stood the test of time. They will come in today, and couple of months or a year or two, they will be gone, because there's regulation, there's all sorts of things in play that people don't always think about. So, but there are a lot of things, and what you'll find is there is also a lot of information out there. What I urge you to do is make sure after this is you do a proper due diligence. Don't go and read people's blogs. Find out what the facts are. There are people in your organization that have invited you that can give you facts. Unfortunately, today, what I've realized in this time period, people have believed through social media and the internet that their opinions are more important than the facts. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't know, they're not. The facts will remain the facts. And I urge you to get the facts. So these guys, for us, it was important. They had a global company when we started. They were about 120 countries. They now operate in 147 countries, and they have more than 900,000 affiliates. So these guys are not small fry. They've been around the block. They have a great footprint. They've got a lot of people in their organization that they work with, that they help, and they have a global footprint. And that, to me, being from South Africa, was very important. I wanted a company that wasn't based in my country, that had a footprint around the world, as we've seen things change very rapidly. But one of the things that really got me thinking was when I started doing research on Harold Zeiss. This is the CEO and founder. He's been given an honorary doctorate for his work that he's done over the last number of years. He's a member of the German Senate. But what really got me was when I started reading his books. And I started doing some research into the mind of the man. And I read the book, The Future of Money, and it was quite difficult for me to read, actually. It reads very much like an economic textbook. But what I got a vision, what I got an understanding for, that I believe that Harold Zeiss is a visionary. And it's visionaries, guys, that have changed the world. People like Steve Jobs, people like Steve Wozniak, people like Elon Musk, even George Bezos. These are guys that are world changers, that are visionaries, that have been able to see what's going to be happening in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, and have started putting things into place now. And my thinking was, if I had the opportunity to partner with guys like that earlier on in my life, in my career, I possibly could have ridden their vision and made a lot of money. And I know Bruce may very well speak of this a little bit later, but looking back at it now, Amazon have been a great company up until a few years ago when they introduced an affiliate marketing program, which all it meant was it allowed the average person to partner with them. And by being allowed to partner with them, their business has exploded, where George Bezos now is one of the richest, if not the richest man in the world. And it was because they allowed people to partner. Now, that is exactly, a lot of the visionaries before haven't done that. The Elon Musks, the Steve Wozniaks, the Steve Jobs, they didn't allow people to partner. Harold Zeiss allows people to partner. And 4 years ago, we partnered up with him and we started investing our money into gold. Now, the reason we started investing into gold is I knew nothing about gold, other than my gran owned a couple of Krugerrands, which she gave us a quarter Krugerrand, I think it was on our 21st birthday, which I don't know what even, I'm not even quite sure what happened to it. But gold has been around for a long time. The paper that we operate in today, the fiat, it's called fiat currency, has not been around for all that long in comparison to gold. Fiat actually only really came into play in 1873, where the gold standard was developed. And our currency has changed 3 or 4 times. It was the gold standard, then the partial standard, then the Bretton Woods standard, and then eventually our fiat currency happened in 1971. And ladies and gents, this is something you may not know, but since 1971, around 1971, the US owned most of the gold in the world, and so the currencies of the world were pegged against the dollar, and the dollar was pegged against gold. And in 1971, President Richard Nixon canceled the dollar exchange, and since that time, there has never been any real wealth, physical wealth, backing up the currencies of the world. And this is why we are where we are now. And I love this slide because it depicts very much the situation we are in. And that is, if you look at what you could buy in 1998 with $20 or 300 Rand or 18 euros or 15 pounds, you probably would have been able to buy a full shopping trolley full of groceries anywhere in the world with virtually any currency for the same amount of money or very similar. And I don't know whether you've been to the shops lately, but if you went into the shops now with $20 or the equivalent, you probably come out with 1 shopping bag. And ladies and gents, it's not going to get better. At the moment, it's going to get worse, because I don't know whether you know, I was reading an article today that the Fed, the American Federal Reserve Bank, are pulling all their tools, they call it, out of the tool chest to help the economies to survive what's going on. Basically, what they're going to start doing is printing more money. And what's going to happen with printing more money is it loses its value, the inflation rises, and you're going to find you're going to be able to buy less and less. Whereas if we look at gold, 100 years ago, 1920, if you had bought if you had a kilogram of gold, it would have cost you $645. For that same $645, you would have been able to buy a Ford motor car. Fast forward the clock now 100 years, the beginning of this year, and it's more than this now. I think it hit 50. I think it hit 58,000 a kilogram. I'm not quite sure what it is now, but the beginning of this year, it was $50,000 a kilogram of gold, and you could still buy the top of the range Ford motor car with the same amount of money. Now, what does that tell you? Well, what it told me was that all that has happened is that the buying power of gold has stayed the same. It hasn't been affected by inflation. So if I was going to store money, and that's what we're talking about, and this is the opportunity I want to talk to you guys about tonight. The first thing, if you do nothing else tonight, please speak to the person who brought you along and get them to help you to open up a free account and start buying gold. Because $645 was a lot of money back in 1920. You could have bought a whole motor car with it. Today, $645 will probably buy you a set of tires, depending on what car you drive. My car, you'll probably be able to buy 4. That's the difference. If you're going to save money, guys, you work very hard for this money. The problem is now you're saving money and it's just being, wherever you put it, it's just being eaten up by inflation. I mean, in Germany now, they've got negative interest rates. So if you're putting your money in the bank for a year, you put 1,000 euros in the bank for a year, the chances are when you want to draw that money, you'll only have 980 something euros. I mean, it's ridiculous. So you just got to listen to people like Robert Kiyosaki. And as Bruce said to you, straight after this, we've got a webinar with this man. He's an icon of financial intelligence. He's been teaching financial intelligence since about 1997 when his first book came out, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's been preaching for years, buy gold, move some of your money into gold, move some of your money outside of the system, because the system is going to fall down. It's going to reset itself. It has to. Everything works in cycles. And my thinking was, if this man, I've read a lot of his books, I've read most of his books. If somebody who is a wealth creating expert and has made money in 4 downturns, then maybe I should listen to him. And if he's buying gold, maybe I should do the same. And I'm telling you guys, maybe you should do the same. So how do you do that? Well, it's very simple. What KaratBars allows is for you to buy small quantities of gold, a little bit at a time. So that over time, you can take your money that you would normally be putting it into the bank or putting it into somewhere else or putting it under your pillow, wherever you want to put it. But instead of doing that, you can put it into small quantities of gold, 1 gram, 3 gram, 6 gram pieces of gold that you can either store yourself or they will store for you, which I'll come on to now. But by doing that, ladies and gents, all you're doing is you're just safeguarding yourself against inflation. And you can buy as little as 0.1 gram. Now, 0.1 gram about now will cost you in South African terms about 120, 130 Rand. Now, this is not going to change your life. But if you took 130 Rands and stuck it under your pillow, and you took one of these and stuck it under your pillow, this is just a piece of paper with a 0.1 gram of gold sitting in the middle of it. But if you put one of these under your pillow, fast forward the clock 20 years, that 120 Rand will very likely buy you around probably about 12 Rands worth of stuff, if that, where this will still be worth 120 Rand or still buy you 120 Rands worth of stuff or more. And that's the difference. If you're going to save your money, save it in something that is not being chewed up by inflation. So you can buy, and that's the first opportunity, is speak to the person who brought you along. If nothing else, you can open up a free account tonight and you can start buying gold. Do that, ladies and gents. You'll be very happy, and I think your family will be very happy in the future. And then what KaratBars did is they allowed people, they would store your gold on your behalf. And if you stored the gold with them, you could then change that gold into an electronic form and be able to send it anywhere in the world. There's some very exciting stuff coming up now with what they're doing. We haven't got the time to go into it. But these guys are world changers. They're changing the way we do money. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome that you can be involved in something that is changing the world? So you can do that. You can now own the gold. Sits in their vaults. And if you want it, you can get it at the touch of a button. If you want to send it to someone, you can do it at the touch of a button, instantaneously, free of charge. Now your assets, solid assets, gold assets, have now become movable. And then they moved on from it. I'm just going to whiz through this very quickly because I think I've probably gone over a bit of time anyway. Sorry, Bruce. But they changed, they developed their own cryptocurrency. And this is the second opportunity. Is you have an opportunity, if you speak to the person who brought you along, to invest in a cryptocurrency that has been developed since 2018. And it's the only cryptocurrency at the moment that has a fully functional traditional payment solution sitting behind it. It's an actual usable cryptocurrency. And these guys developed their own blockchain. Sorry, these guys developed their own blockchain, and on that blockchain they started developing products and services. The KaratNet, Karat Gold, Karat Pay, KaratBit. These are all products that make the coin valuable. And I'm not going to go into it, but I just want you guys to know that there is value there. And you have an opportunity to buy a coin that we believe could have been an opportunity. You could have had the same opportunity in 2009, buying a little coin called Bitcoin. We don't know if there's going to be the same increase. I can't tell you any of that, but you can buy a coin now that could very well double, triple, quadruple over the next couple of years. That's opportunity number 2. So what I'd like to do is, that's my part finished, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening. Please, I urge you again, do something. Take action. If just saving gold, then do that. Get on the Robert Kiyosaki call. I'm going to hand you back to my friend and business partner, Bruce, who's going to expertly take you through some numbers. Bruce, thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hand it back to you. Do I need to hand back the host, or are you done? You can do that yourself.
Perfect. No, I've got it. I've got it. Thanks, Sean. Thanks so much for that. So, guys, really, Sean's done a fantastic job at explaining the company, a bit of the history, the man behind it. They've achieved a heck of a lot since 2011. They've jumped through a lot of different regulations in over 147 different territories to make it possible for people to buy small amounts of gold. Right now, I'm sitting here with 1 gram of 24 karat gold bullion, LBMA approved, that's London-based Metal Association approved. But I live in South Africa. For me to keep bringing my gold into South Africa is probably not a smart decision. So we keep all our gold stored for free with the company, keep it on Karat Pay. We can digitally track it. It's an e-currency in that state. And we have heavily vested into the crypto as well. What I would like to do is talk about the potential to earn cash flow with this company. You see, up till now, we've just spoken about rescuing your money, protecting your money. I'm 36 years old. I've got 3 boys, an 8, a 6, and a 5-year-old. And we know for a fact that if we kept putting our money into banks and kept putting it into different financial instruments that we were being advised to, that we would not have enough money in the next 10 to 15 years to sustain not just our living, but the increased living of having teenagers and sports and private schools and all the rest of it. So we made the responsible decision to rescue our money out of a failing system and put it into a safe haven asset. I want to talk about how you can partner up with the company, you can represent the company, and you can invite people onto presentations like this where people can choose to play in. And for doing that, you can earn a commission on all products that those people purchase going forward. Sean alluded to the fact that Amazon restructured its entire marketing model back in 2013, where they adopted an affiliate model. They said to their Amazon community, if you can bring more store holders in and put their products on the Amazon platform, we'll take a percentage of our profits and pay it back to you. Be our marketing force, be our mouthpiece, bring more volume to our company, and we will share profits with you. And that's exactly what KaratBars does. So I'm going to quickly throw some numbers at you guys. And again, I really encourage everybody to jump onto 1 or 2 more presentations if some of these coming at you too quickly. I do understand that the best way to eat an elephant is my screen's not sharing, is 1 mouthful at a time. And so whilst I am sharing some numbers with you, I want to encourage you to get onto other calls where you can take a look at some of the other numbers as well. We will be doing some training on Saturday, so join us Saturday morning. But let me quickly take you through what it looks like to become an affiliate with KaratBars. So option 1 is open a free account and save into gold. You can add cryptos to that portfolio as well. That's option 2. Option 3, partner up with the company, become an affiliate. So how do you do that? Well, firstly, you need to buy a business license, in inverted commas, buy a digital franchise. If I wanted to represent McDonald's, I would need to purchase franchise rights from McDonald's. It wouldn't come with a bun, it wouldn't come with a burger. It would come with the legal rights to market the company, both future and present products. And it's the same here with KaratBars. I can purchase, in inverted commas, a franchise that has higher and higher earning potentials depending on what I purchase. I can start lean and mean and buy a €180 multi-gold package. That's a business license essentially. Or I could buy one of the higher VIP licenses. It all depends on where I want to start. And for you, you're the only person who can answer that question. At the end of the day, it'll come down to earning potential. So let's take a look at the earning potential. Firstly, with any company, there is a direct commission. If we are moving product, if product is being sold, if people are buying gold, if they're buying the blockchain-powered products such as the laptop, the cell phone, the ATMs that dispense gold, if people are accessing product through KaratBars, I will get paid a 10% direct commission for helping those people access products. Every single time for the rest of that person's existence, when they're buying products, I'm getting a share of their commissions. If we go out and help build a marketing team and we bring more marketers onto the team, more marketers will go and find more customers. The two go hand in hand. And so the company has a reward structure in place, a commission structure that's built around finding more marketers and finding more customers. That's the first type of commission. Again, very similar to an estate agent, similar to a recruitment agent, similar to a car agent, you can earn direct commissions. But where the real big money is made, for the people who are thinking bigger than just being a salesperson, where the real big money is made is on volumes. I come from a farming background. My parents farmed sugar and citrus in Swaziland for years and years. They then got into the retail business. We own multiple bakeries and general dealers and bottle stores. And essentially, it all came down to volume. How much product can you move in order to increase your sales? It's the same here with KaratBars. If we go and build teams of people, we go and find teams of customers, and we go and find teams of marketers, then we're going to increase more and more gold that is being purchased. We're going to increase more and more product that is being purchased. And the company will look at all that volume of products, and they will pay a second commission, a volume-based commission. The company calls this a dual team bonus. Now, depending on what status, what multi-pack, which business license you bought, your volume-based commission can be large or small. At a VIP size business, you can be paid €80. At a bronze size business, you can be paid €40 for the same amount of volume that's moving through your teams. Again, this is a bit like buying a McDonald's franchise in Piccadilly Circus or buying a McDonald's franchise in Pofadder. Different earning potential, same company. Same here with KaratBars. You can buy different size packs. It'll have different size earning potentials, same company. So we often talk about make the decision to people go, there's no way I'm going to go and buy a business. I'm just here to save into gold. And I get that. I promise you, I understand that thinking. In fact, we save into gold every week. My wife and I, we buy at least 1 gram of gold every single Friday. Our whole team, our whole community now does that. We call it Gold Rush Friday. But I'm not the type of person who's going to walk past a business opportunity if it makes sense. So before we got into buying gold, we first went and bought ourselves a multi-pack. For €180, you can start a business. You can either buy 3 grams of gold or you can start a business. And yes, you won't have the 3 grams of gold. No, rather take some money every week and put that into gold. But do the once-off purchase of buying a business so you can represent the company. We recommend stuff all the time. We recommend movies. We recommend series on Netflix. We recommend which cars to drive when people are car shopping. We recommend which schools to send our kids to. We recommend doctors to each other. It's the same here with KaratBars. We recommend here's a safe company with a solid track record. You can register your own free account and you can save into gold. We recommend stuff all the time. KaratBars pays us to do it. So that's what we've been doing. We've been helping people grow teams. We've been helping grow teams at 2 people a month, 5 people a month, 10 people a month. It all depends on how aggressively you want to grow your business. But because we do that, we earn euro commissions. We also get paid matching gold bonuses. So what we did is we just played with some numbers here. And guys, please understand this is not an income claim. This is just an extrapolation of numbers. You might go and earn more than this. You might go and earn less than this. It all depends on how aggressively you choose to open your mouth and direct people towards KaratBars. So we played with some numbers and we said, what if 2 people added 2 people added 2 people every month for 12 months? That would end up being a fairly large team. But what if they only ever bought the minimum? Well, you would still end up making over 11,000 euros in direct commissions. We haven't spoken about Joule, etc. in this calculation. And you would end up earning almost a kilogram of gold. Now, you might be thinking a bit bigger. And guys, I just want to share some numbers here. We've had people in our team earn these numbers last year, 2019, here in South Africa. We also have members all over the world, other countries, including the UK, the US, Canada, who've earned this amount of money too. But it came down to work. It came down to using Instagram, using LinkedIn, using Facebook, and just sharing a concept and idea. What if we could rescue our money from banks and failing systems and put it into gold? What if we had a solution that was safe, that was transparent, that was accessible? And you say that enough times and you invite people enough times to take a look, people are then in a position to make a decision. But what if you go slower? What if you only make 10% of that? It would still be excellent cash flow. So here's really what I want to present tonight. Here's a company that you can save to gold. That's a good decision. It's a company that you can get a footprint in crypto. That's also a good decision. But right now, one of the most responsible decisions you could be making is increasing your cash flow, getting a second income in place. Potentially, like me, this could become your plan A, your full-time gig. But it starts with you, and it just starts with wherever your finances are at right now. Again, I said I have 3 little boys. If I were to explain our business to them, it would sound a bit like this. My boys, once off, buy your business. Okay, put capital in. Yes, you're going to get some product with that business, my boys. It's going to be some gold. But here's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to get in the habit of saving every cent you make. Save it as much as you can. Put some into gold every week. Take a look at your finances, put it into gold. Tell other people. Keep it simple. Invite them onto a presentation. We'll share the products. We'll share the strategies. We'll have online training for people to plug into. And here's what will happen. You can earn euro commissions and you can earn gold. That's our company. That's our process. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We have a system. So if you're on social media, we can teach you how to leverage that professionally, and we can teach you how to do that responsibly. The last thing we want is excited people, passionate people going out and vomiting on people. We'd much rather train you, help you to approach people well so that you can represent this company well. We don't think we've got the only solution globally. I mean, if this isn't for you, if you're looking at this company and saying no thanks, then I really suggest that you partner up with another online company, whether it's in vitamins or makeup or something. Get a footprint online. But what I do want to say is we've got a really solid business solution for those of you who are looking at this. Imagine being able to take the extra 500 euros you're earning a month, the extra 1,000, the extra 5,000, and be able to take some of that commission and push it into gold and push it into crypto. What you'll end up creating are 3 assets. Business will be an asset, your gold will be an asset, and your cryptocurrencies will be an asset. And we've got all of that opportunity right here with KaratBars. Dr. Harold Seitz knew exactly what he was doing in 2011 when he set up the company. He knew exactly what he was writing when he got stuck into the future of money. And I'm so glad he did, because I'm now a stay-at-home dad. I earn euro commissions on my MasterCard. I buy gold every Friday, and I push a large percentage of what I earn into cryptocurrencies too. I'm in 3 assets because one man decided to set up an infrastructure that was counterintuitive to what the banks were offering us. The irony being, this is how banks used to work. This is how money used to work. And our financial institutions have forgotten that. And they give us the worst options when we should be giving ourselves the best. So guys, I want to thank you for your time. Here are the next 2 steps you can take. 1, do a due diligence from the inside. It'll cost you absolutely no money to register a free account and fact check us. Check our pricing on our products. Check out the quality of the gold. Have a good read through the compensation plan. Have a good look at the team that surrounds KaratBars. Do your audit and your due diligence from the inside out. Never, ever, ever adopt an orphan mindset when it comes to business. Orphans, unfortunately, sit outside of a home looking and wishing they knew more. I'm inviting you into the home to find out more. So that's step one, register a free account. And you can do that by just asking the person who invited you onto this call, hey, please send me a registration link now. I want to do a solid due diligence. You can send a message off, hey, please send me a registration link now. I want to be responsible with this information. That's step one. Step two, on Saturday, we have another presentation from 9 until 10. And then we've actually got training from 10 until 11. I really want to encourage you, come along, listen a second time, sit in on our training, and start absorbing some of the infrastructure, some of the strategies that we've used to create such big teams throughout the world. KaratBars currently operates in, as of last week, 150 countries. They've got a potential reach of 2.5 billion people. They're tying up the last of their legal paperwork to allow us to open into the Indian and Chinese market, which means suddenly our reach will explode to 4.8 billion people. And yet the company has only just celebrated 1 million registered users. We're tiny. We're 10 years in and only just starting. So much potential. So guys, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you that you took the time on a Thursday night at the end of the week to jump onto this. And again, take those 2 steps and let's answer your questions. Let's answer your concerns. Let's walk you through this process so that at the end, you know what you're saying no to or you know what you're saying yes to. So again, guys, have a fantastic Thursday evening. For those of you who are jumping onto the Robert Kiyosaki webinar, guys, he is probably one of the greatest financial intelligence teachers of this century. Jump onto that call. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you for your time and have an awesome evening.